I had a background in banking, finance, and recruiting. So a lot of phone sales experience, and that was with the recommendation.
I wanted it to be sales related, and it's a very competitive industry, which I like. And I think if you have a good work ethic, that you could become very successful at it.
Kind of happened by accident. I was actually playing poker for a living, doing poker stuff for a long time, and I met my future wife, my fiance.
Having worked as an international lawyer, I worked in Africa, I worked in Europe. I have some contacts in Southeast Asia as well. So basically, I was brought in by a headhunter.
Mon Dieu, ça fait 15 ans que je suis dans le domaine des paiements. J'avais une compagnie en marketing auparavant et j'avais besoin d'un système de paiement. Alors, j'ai appelé une compagnie pour avoir un système de paiement. Puis, en fin de compte, j'ai vendu. Puis, on m'a recruté pour vendre des systèmes de paiement.
I personally started as just a customer service guy in 2006, so 13 years ago, and then little by little started doing sales, then started managing sales, and then we decided to open our own company and kind of worked my way up literally from the bottom.
And at one point they started to offer merchant services. And the partnership that they built for Canada, at least, the experience that we got was horrible. And it made me lose interest on that company and made me really be really interested about merchant processing and residual income, and every time you swipe a card, someone's get paid, right? So I went on Kijiji and I started to work as a sales rep.
There is no work-life balance. It's pretty much 24/7.
Sometimes I work 18 hours a day, sometimes I work 10 hours a day. It all depends.
Probably isn't as good as my wife would like it.
I'm always on duty, weekend included.
Yeah, I pride myself on answering my phone. I tell that to all my merchants.
Everything is always a fire. There's nothing, yeah, we'll wait 3 days. It's always everything today, now, immediately.
I think if you're not from New York, you don't understand that, and they look at you sometimes like, well, you know, Gary, you just told me a few hours ago. A few hours to these people is eternity.
A New York City minute is real. New York City minute is real. They want it. They don't want it now. They want it right now.
I think the future is owned by the people who wake up early, so I start about 5 a.m.
Knowing what to do and when to do it, right? There's a lot of things that are really urgent, but maybe not super important. There's a lot of things that are really important, but not super urgent. And time management, I think, is the biggest challenge. Actually, it was my biggest challenge when I started.
It's never Groundhog's Day. It never repeats itself. It's always some kind of new problem, some kind of new issue that's coming up, some kind of new success story. And you're just always planning and looking ahead and trying to be creative and trying to stay ahead of the rest of the people in the industry, trying to come up with more creative programs, more interesting ways of selling, more new offers.
Faut aller vite, mais d'une vitesse où prendre le temps de bien faire les choses. Parce que des fois, la vitesse, c'est bon, mais si tu vas aller trop vite puis tu n'accomplis pas tes choses comme il faut, mais tu recommences.
Professionalism is something that is extremely important, and dedication, because it is not easy. It is an extremely competitive landscape.
Very competitive business. There are a lot of ISOs in the industry that actually sell merchant processing services, but we're able to give them transparent wholesale interchange cost plus a nominal markup and educate them on today's processing platform that's able to save their business money.
The challenges of this industry, there are many. One of the main challenges is that people don't want to change things that work.
I try to explain to them in layman's terms that, listen, this could make your life a lot easier by trying to process this way. And maybe we should just give it a try. If it doesn't work and you're not happy, we could always go back the other way. And I think you build relationships, you build trust, and I think more times than not, they'll listen to you because they know you're doing it a long time, they know you have a lot of customers, they know you're getting referred by a lot of people, and I think sometimes that really helps on them taking a step back and say, okay, let's give it a try.
I do no contracts. That actually keeps them. Because I tell them, if I'm not doing my job, I'm not going to charge you to leave. You should go. So I do a real good job of rapport, 100% rapport, and I'm very meticulous. If they need something and they call me, I answer and I'm on it right away.
Vu de toutes les couleurs, là, on a entendu des histoires d'horreur dans ce domaine-là, c'est incroyable.
I think working with people and realizing that there's always people that you're working with and that they're human beings is the most important thing. You know, treating people the right way, and people stay.
So I would say the outstanding personalized service is what will help the most in our clients' retention.
Make sure that you listen to their needs and concerns. Very important to have someone available, so I appreciate the fact Nuvei is providing us with support in real time. When we send a question out, we get an answer almost right away. There's no waiting 24 hours or anything, so that's key.
Il faut qu'on ait accès en tout temps à des ressources pour régler les problèmes, à des ressources quand on a un gros deal à signer. On part de 1 000 $ par mois à 5 millions par année, là, on n'a pas de limite. Fait qu'il faut avoir accès toujours à des professionnels pour nous aider dans toutes les démarches qu'on entreprend pour bien faire notre travail.
You know, I was lucky enough for all these years to have people in higher positions that I could talk to at any time, even on a weekend, and they would answer my phone call. And if I was working on something and I needed an answer on a Saturday, they would be there to answer my question. And I think that's a big reason why I actually am where I am today, because without them, you know, supporting me on the back end, it would make it very difficult.
From a payment processor to another, often the technology and the capability and the payment processing side of it, it's pretty much the same from a company to another, right? There's some slight difference, some fine lines, some hardware differences, but at the end of the day, a transaction is a transaction, and a deposit in a bank account is a deposit in a bank account, and underwriting is underwriting. What really made the difference is to have this partner-oriented philosophy, and this is something that Nuvei surely have, and this is the reason why we have such a close partnership with Nuvei.
Communication, communication, communication. That's it. Because problems will happen. No one is perfect. People on the other line, they can click the wrong button, and that's how it goes. It's when the problem is identified and I see it or they see it, for us to connect on it and make sure that it's resolved quickly. Because remember, you know, a lot of these small business owners, they're not doing well. You know, so and the biggest thing is the funding. If there's a problem with funding and that doesn't hit that account, it could really, really hurt a business if they're expecting it or they have checks written out, you know, and I've been in situations like that before, and sometimes it's to my error for not putting the auto batch at the right time or assuming it was on auto batch when it wasn't, or maybe Nuvei's error where it wasn't set for next day funding, but I was told, or maybe a bigger problem from like the back end, like a thesis problem. You know, communication is so important, and thankfully I have a great relationship with Christine and Simone, because I email or call, they're answering. They're finding out what's wrong, telling me what to do, and I'm doing it. And I like getting things done quick. That's how I keep my merchants. Because if they need something, I want to solve it right away. Because they'll remember that next time. Like, why would they switch? Every time I call Chris, he answers on the second ring, and whatever issue I have, he's resolving it before I hang up the phone.
It starts from underwriting and, you know, getting back to us quickly and helping us understand why an account is approved or why there's a hold or why there's a risk problem, all the way down to customer service and technical support and building files, because if a customer's machine broke and they need a new one, we have to get a machine out there within the hour, 2 hours at the worst case scenario, otherwise the guy won't be able to process and his whole business stops. So we always think of the actual business owners and how we can help support their business. So we rely on you guys to help us help support the merchant.